Hello. Okay, I haven't been live in like over a week now. What's up? Who's here? Say hello. I have severely neglected my live streams lately and my uploads. So if you like depend on my shit coming out, like, sorry, I don't know. Um, I go through like these things where different platforms require my attention, and right now no platforms are requiring my attention. Just like big changes are happening, and I made no time for YouTube last week. So I'm just kind of like learning to flow with everything that I want to do, and knowing that I am always creating the space that I need and the time that I need to do all the things that I want to do. So this is why this stream is called All the Things, because I am doing all the things that I fucking want to do, period. And like there is no other option. That is just the way it is, and this is my declaration. That's what it is. Okay? So, yeah, this is me making the space and time to do the things I want to do. Hello. Who's here? Say hi. I am also, I don't know if you guys know, but if you follow me on other platforms, you already know. We are starting on next Monday. We're starting a 3-day like shadow work event. We're doing it together, and all of my links for like literally everything are in the link that I just posted, blackflamealchemy.com/info. There you can find the sign up for Exposed. That's what the shadow work event is called. Hi, Nicole. What's up, baby girl? So Exposed, you can sign up for that there. It's a free event. Anybody is welcome to come. My link to application is there for like coaching and stuff. What else is there? All of my social media is there. My Patreon is there. You can even buy me a coffee if you wanted to on this link. So everything is there. All right. Just get that out of the way before we start the video. There's so much I want to talk about. Like there's so much. Whew. It has been a wild ride this past week. And I have felt my body 2 times trying to pretend that it can't do everything. And usually I'd be like, oh, I'm having like an up-level sickness or something like that. This time, I'm like, no, that's not fucking true. Like, I'm just trying to run all of this energy through this program that has never fucking worked in the past. And some part of my human is afraid that I'm gonna get stuck in a cycle that I don't wanna be in. And that's why my body's trying to pretend like it doesn't know how to work. And so that was what happened actually right before this live stream too, was my body was like, oh, you're tired, like let's just go to bed and not do the live stream. And I was like, fuck no, that's stupid. Like I do what I want. I do what I want to do. I always have the time and the energy that I need to do the things that I want to do. And so yeah, experienced that twice in the past couple days. And the reason why I tell you guys this stuff is because, hey guys, hi Astral Goddess. I haven't seen you in a while, Josh. Oh wait, no, you're not Josh. Gosh, I always get you guys confused. This is Astaroth Goddess. You are Astral Goddess. Hi Leia. Hello again. Puckdon. Noah, what's up? Connected with the Gnosis program featuring Curtis Joseph. I love Curtis. Oh, really? Well, tell him to reach out, man. I haven't been on the platform in a little while. Should probably check in on there. I haven't checked in a while. Oh, really? I feel like I've seen you on live before, Astral Goddess. Well, welcome. Welcome, you guys. Welcome. So, anyways, so what I was talking about is that, like, the reason why I tell you guys like some of my pitfalls or like my struggles or whatever is because, like, the illusion of perfection and the illusion of things being the way that are safe or that feels like within our limits and all of that, like it's just illusion. Like, it doesn't have to be real. And at the same time, the tools that we use, or yeah, I guess that would be the right thing to call it, the tools that we use to get ourselves to the places that we want to be in our lives, they change. Like, what might have worked for you before could have stopped working. And then there comes a time and a place where you find something that works every single time without fail. And if you stick to this thing that works for you long enough to find out that it is going to work every single time without fail, then there's literally nothing standing in your way except for your illusions. Like, I was just talking to somebody um today in DMs, and I was basically just telling them that, if you were to stop being so careful and stop like giving a fuck, because underneath like all of the fucks that you give, you were to realize that there's just like this chaotic like beast under you that is like dying to be expressed, and you let yourself express that over and over and over again without worrying about taking care of this person's feelings or upsetting anybody, like, your life would be dramatically different, like completely fucking different. And it is so simple, and we try and complicate the shit out of like spiritual tools and all of these other, things that we try and stay safe inside of like the bounds of what's right and wrong and what's accepted and what's not accepted. And they told me that it's, I'm happy it's simple for you, but it's not simple for me. And like that was like this click thing. And that made me realize that, like, I already know this, simple and easy are not the same thing. You have to like make the decision to say the fucking things you want to say, do the fucking things you want to do, recognize that anything other than what you decide is illusion, essentially, that it doesn't get to matter unless you allow it to. Like, that's the only reason why anything else than what you want your life to look like or what you want it to be expressed as, that's the only thing like in between, that's the only thing stopping it. And so we have to decide that and then stay committed to the decision to be like expressing all of ourselves as much as we want to, without worrying about like whose toes we're going to step on, or what this person's going to think about, or like if this person's going to talk shit about me, or if that person's going to like, go start a rumor, or if that person's going to hex me, or whatever the fuck it is. Like like it doesn't actually get to matter unless you think like it needs to for some reason. And so that's why I'm like, I just felt like having this kind of like conversation tonight on live stream would be important, because I've talked to so many people this week about like needing approval, and it's like a thing that keeps on coming up constantly over and over and over. And so for me, like, being on the phone with all these people who are constantly having like this approval thing come up, I'm, being forced to look at myself and like, okay, well then where am I needing approval? Like, obviously they're mirroring back something to me where I'm not being true to myself, where I don't actually need approval. And so there's somewhere in my life where I do need it. And so that, I think, it comes back to like doing the social media thing, like showing up and making space and time for all of the places I want to be, is that I'm actually searching for approval from myself and not giving it to myself over and over and over by not creating the space and the time that I know I require to be able to show up in all the places I want to show up all the time. And so it's a simple connection like that that is having like these people who are having issues with approval coming into my life to show me where I need to give myself the approval. The only approval that I need is for me, right? Same for you. Like you only need your own approval. Um, but we think we need it from everybody else, every fucking other person. We think we need it from them, and we don't. Cool. Thanks, Keenan. People need a real world perspective into the craft and what it looks like. So you talking about struggle is super important. Totally. That shadow work can help. I agree. I love this talk about self-actualization and the need to develop the individual. The individual is all that fucking matters. The developing the individual is all that fucking matters. Like if you develop yourself, the individual, everything, like you're coding your reality to be the way that you require it to be, not based on any 3D circumstances, what's presenting itself to you right now, because that is a representation of the energy that you were holding 15 minutes ago or a year ago, right? It's all a representation of the energy you were holding at some point. And when you make a conscious decision to switch that energy, whether it is to alchemize that energy into say it's like, I'm just going to use the example I used at the beginning because it's fresh, it's right now, where my body was like, no, don't do a live stream, let's just go to bed, because that's what I fucking did last night, because I wanted to do a live stream last night. And I was like, well, it's Monday. I don't do stuff on Mondays. It's like one of my rules. I don't do stuff on the weekends or Mondays, except for if Chris wants to do like ghost stuff on the weekends, then we do that. But yeah, it was like, oh, I just fell for it. I just was like, oh yeah, I'm just sticking to one of my rules. I don't do stuff on Monday. And so, but then tonight, whenever it happened again, um, my body's like, I'm tired. And then I caught myself. I was like, that's actually bullshit. Like, that's total fucking illusion. Like, that is not the truth, because I know that I create the space and I create the time to do all the things I want to do. And once I admitted that to myself, what happened was that the low energy was alchemized into usable high frequency energy. And I got this surge of energy in my body that gave me exactly what I needed to come on live. Even if I didn't even know what I wanted to talk about. So just like press go live and just start talking. Like, I knew that I wanted to talk about all the things because this is a chaos stream and it's supposed to be chaotic and it's supposed to be like a journal entry and like also us talking to each other. So yeah, we're doing that. But once you start with yourself, where you're like blueprinting your own reality right now, like you're blueprinting it, you're changing the code, and then that code ripples out into the rest of your reality, and it bounces into other people with like the same codes as you, and you end up having like meetings with them, or not like physical meetings, I mean like phone calls or video casts or whatever, but like you end up talking to them in some way. It could be phone calls or video whatever chats and stuff like that, or just ending up on one of their videos or some of their content, or them ending up on some of yours, because of a decision that you made that changed the frequencies that you are carrying in your field. And it attracts like a totally different outcome than if I was to keep carrying that low energy, like I'll do it tomorrow, then that would not be, me staying true to what I've decided for myself, right? Like that I have all the time in the space that I need to do all the things that I want to do with my life. That would attract another like person or attitude that fits that situation. And so it's not all about like doing rituals to manifest shit into your life. It's about changing who you are, or who you're it's not about changing who you are. Let me back up. That can be taken in a totally out of context way. Okay, changing who you are showing up as. Okay, because most of the time we show up as a person who needs approval, who needs to know exactly how it's going to play out before you can take a step and do anything, who needs to know that you're going to get a certain type of result before you can commit to something. A person who needs to know all the fucking answers to all the fucking things. And you're showing up as a person who wants to stay safe and like be safe and be taken care of and just all these things that aren't true. Like you're not that person. Like you are you're a spirit, okay, who has incarnated into this three-dimensional plane to play this game of life, right? And so if you came to play a game and you're not remembering that you came to play this game, then you can't play it. You're just like existing in it. It's like you have the opportunity to have the controller in your hand, but you're just kind of like instead being an extra in the game, right? Like in a Sims game or something. Like you're the neighbor in your own fucking game. Like, I don't know if that makes any sense, but that's just how I'm seeing it right now. But like the point is to remember that like you're coding this at all times. Like you are coding your reality to do exactly what you want it to do at all times with every single decision that you make. Non-player character. I don't play games, so thank you for the assist there. There's nothing fun about safe. No, there's not. It's so fucking boring and so predictable, right? Like it is so predictable, but so many people are doing it. Even magic people, like people who are into magic or into witchcraft or whatever, like whatever you want to call it, like people are playing it safe and they're not getting the results that they want in their life. They're not having fun and they're constantly seeking approval from, you know, their partner or their parents. And this is where I feel incredibly grateful to have had a background in like mindset before I moved into like really coming out into like the magical circles and stuff as, you know, a person who talks about the stuff I talk about now, is because like the psychology aspect of it, I understand on a really deep level. And I've worked with people for a very long time on this deep level. It's not a very long time, like 4 years, but like I've worked with people on these specific things. And for me, like coming into our community, it's really easy for me to be able to see through like facades. Like it's half my psychic gifts and half my understanding of humans, essentially. And then half like, well, that would be thirds. So like also a third, like being a total fucking alien and owning it, you know, like that's kind of the way I see it, is like, yeah, there's three main things that make up why I feel like really grateful to be in the position that I'm in, to be able to look into somebody else's life and see exactly like the one little thing that needs a little tweak, and then their life just blows up, right? Like in a good way. Sometimes it doesn't always look like a good way first. Like sometimes it looks like it's fucking terrible to somebody who isn't going through it, but the person going through it is like, holy shit, this is really cool, because all of a sudden all the stuff that was coded before with the old codes just like falls away and the new stuff comes in, and it's like perfect timing all the time, and it's beautiful, and it gets to be that way. I don't know why I do that. I was like, whenever I'm checking the comments. I've seen like some of my video playbacks because yes, I love watching my videos. And And I notice I do that a lot when I'm on live video. Oh, and I just posted like, okay, so things have been getting kind of serious lately. And so I like to keep things fun. I like to keep things lighthearted because like a lot of the work that I do is really fucking serious work. But like if it's not fun, it's not worth doing to me. And so I like took these pictures on Snapchat. I actually opened Snapchat to take like a serious selfie, like just a cute one or whatever. But then I put on a filter and like just started making goofy faces to see like how fucking far I could cross my eyes like this, but then like doing it really hard and like looking up. Anyways, I took so many silly pictures and I posted them on Instagram. And I was like, I don't even know why I'm posting these pictures. Um, and I still don't know why, but I realized a little bit after I posted them that like it doesn't matter why, that my intuition told me to do this thing that is kind of way outside of something that I would normally do. Like I don't normally post silly pictures, but like it just felt necessary because maybe it's cuz like the world is like so fucking heavy right now. And then, like we have to remember to play. And like my reality is like getting heavy and getting kind of serious. And like I have to remember to play. And I even asked in my story for people to send me a picture of like them making a silly face. Just so we could laugh together and bond over silliness or whatever. And like the point, I guess, is that like it doesn't have to make sense. It doesn't need to make sense. Like what you're doing, it doesn't need to make sense. And like that's another lesson that I'm learning for myself. Actually, there are two other things I really want to talk about on this live stream because I remember this is what I wanted to talk about tonight. Dude, we all poop. I pooped like 3 times today. Okay? Just saying. Because being taken serious is overrated. Everything is kind of overrated, right? Hey, Keenan. And like even saying that, saying like I pooped 3 times today, totally unnecessary. Like, why the fuck did I say that? Right? Like, but does it even matter? No, because it was in my brain and I wanted to say it, right? Like it was there and so I said it. And like how many times do we stop ourselves from saying stuff that we want to say? Or how many times do you like think later, like if you're having a conversation and and then like later you're like, oh, I should have said that, right? But that probably would have came out in that conversation too if you had just been saying what you wanted to say the whole time instead of like um instead of like, I don't know, counting yourself down, like, or like saying, oh, don't say that, they'll probably like think that I'm an asshole, or they'll think I'm being a bitch, or they'll think this or that or whatever. And speaking of being a bitch, I'm actually gonna get kind of serious. Kim Jong-un doesn't poop. Hi, Reagan. Okay, here's the thing too. Okay, you guys really like poop. I am so happy. There's at least one poop joke a week on the Gnosis show, so 3 times. Dude, okay, the Lone Wrangler. I've seen some of the comments you say, and if you said everything that you thought you'd be in a straitjacket, like you already say some off the wall shit. Like I wonder how far it could go. Like you should totally say all the things you want to say. You should. I want to know what you had to say. Okay, so last week, y'all, some of y'all maybe saw it, maybe some other people didn't, but last week I did a video talking about how I put out an application to do work together again. And I've been getting tons of applicants for this. And I'm just gonna pull it up again real quick. I'm not gonna type it in here. It's in my Black Flame Alchemy thing that I already posted. But I've been getting a lot of applications for this. And at first, there would be like there would be people who I knew weren't like the people that I would extend an offer to work together. But I was like, there's something in there. I was following my nudges essentially and picking out people who I felt like, I don't know, I kind of see like this lighting up of their name or their picture, especially like if I'm on social media. I'll see like a person's picture just feels brighter. It feels lighter. It feels like there is a cord to follow, like a connection to make. And so I did that with a couple of people. And then also with the people I knew I would be willing to make, extend an invitation to work together. Um, I let all of them have access to my calendar, and they set up times and stuff. And so last week was like filled with calls. And this week is booked all week for calls too. So Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday are the only days that I take calls. And I feel that if I give somebody a link to my calendar, that it's an honor. Like that might sound arrogant or cocky or bitchy or whatever the fuck. But like if I give you a link to hold, like, to create space with me and to have an experience together with me shining my genius of knowing onto like a spotlight onto your specific problem, that if you were to fix this little tweak this little thing in your life, that all these other things would start blowing up. That is like, it's a gift because it's my gift to the world. And like each one of you, every single person has a gift like that. And we have to unlock it in ourselves. But I see my gift like that. I don't question whether or not my gift is enough, right? Like I know without a doubt that it is extreme, and that it's precise, and that it has the ability to completely shift a person's entire fucking life. And I take what I do seriously, and I'm lighthearted about it. But today, before this stream wasn't the only time that I felt like a little weak today. Earlier, after I had a call with one of my patrons, Leia, if you're still here, hey boo. And then I had 3 calls booked after that, back to back. The first one, whenever I called them at the time, it went straight to voicemail. And so I was like, okay, like, yes, Kyle, I am. Hold on, I'll post it real quick right here too. Everything, all of my links are in there, okay? So yeah, first call was like no answer. And so I was like, oh, okay. So that's actually perfect, because something in me was like, this isn't like, it doesn't feel good. I don't feel like doing this right now or whatever. And so I was like, I think that I just texted them and I was like, hey, called you, it went straight to voicemail. Like, I think that's it. I don't even think I said like, let's reschedule. I didn't say any of that because I knew I wasn't going to reschedule, because I have a boundary or a standard for myself that if you make an appointment with me and you cancel it, you do not get my calendar again. You do not get in my calendar. And if you do get in my calendar, I'm going to cancel your appointment, like, period. Like, if you get cold feet, that's on you, man. Like, somebody else out there will work with you. Like, I promise, somebody else will work with you. I do not do cancels. I don't do it, period. Do not book in my calendar if you cancel, because I won't do it again. So I was like, I think I was like, kind of like, oh, that's a little weird. Maybe I should, and I was just thinking about this. I was like, maybe I should put my expectations, or make my expectations, or my standard, make it clear, right? Maybe I should let people know that, like, if I call you and you don't answer, I'm not calling you back. Like, that's not reschedules. I'll do reschedules. But if I call and you don't answer, like, that's like a no call, no show at work, right? But you get fired immediately. Like, that's how it is. So I already knew, but I was like, yeah, maybe I should make this known. So I was like thinking about maybe I should like put it in my cancellation policy or whatever. And so the second call comes. I call, it goes straight to voicemail again. And I was like, oh shit. So I like pull out my computer. I go on there on Calendly. I'm like typing up my fucking like thing. And it just said like, you know, you can reschedule, but that's it, you know? Um, the third motherfucking call comes up and it rang and it rang and it rang and it rang and it went to voicemail. And I was like, man, what the fuck? What is happening right now? Like, that's weird that that's happening. But it wasn't like a, oh, what's wrong with me? Like, kind of feeling. It wasn't nothing like that. And it also wasn't like, what's wrong with them? Like, oh, they only know this or whatever. Like, it wasn't like any entitled feeling of like, you need to answer the phone when I call. Like, it wasn't that kind of bullshit. But it wasn't either something that's like, oh no, my energy must be off. Like, that kind of normal thing. It was a moment of perfection when I realized that there's something in me that needed to be tweaked, which was my boundaries or my standard was not being expressed fully. That I expect whenever people show up in my space for them to be willing to put everything on the line for their transformation. Everything. Like, if you want to transform, you're gonna have to be willing to give up whatever it takes. And that means showing up where you need to be, when you need to be there, like all of these things that require that your transformation requires from you. And that maybe the people that I talk to are so fucking afraid of transforming that they conveniently forget things, right? I forgot we had a call today. Oh, I've been at the dealership all day. Like, these things are not accidental. These things are things that we allow to come into our lives and to take up space in our lives to prevent us from doing the very thing that we want to do. Like being tired and just deciding to go to bed instead of doing a thing that you really want to do. Like, I can't really explain it any other way than like knowing that those 3 calls back to back to back was a moment of perfection. It was a moment of realizing that I now get the opportunity to tighten up my expectations. And this is something that, you know, like the light worker world will tell you, you should not have expectations. And I agree that you shouldn't have expectations to a degree, okay? I have expectations for the way that that people that I share energy with show up in my life. I don't care what they do on their time, but if we're sharing energy, I expect that they show up in integrity with their highest, most brilliant expression. Like, most brilliant expression. Like, that is what I am requiring. And so these tweaks are now getting to be made. And before, what I let happen was that, oh my fucking God, Kia, this is so weird. I was just about to talk about like how it was before whenever I was coaching, was that if those people that didn't answer, I would have been like, oh, that's okay. You can reschedule. You can, you know, reset up your, call or whatever. Oh, whatever works for you, whatever fits for you. It is impossible for me to do that now. Like, it's impossible, because what I do when I do that is enable people to stay exactly where they don't want to be. And that's not okay. Like, it is not okay to do it like that. let me catch up on y'all's comments. I meant how much you want it. Hold on, let me see what your other comments is. I've even had to give up my own. You must have said something else on. You are meant to work with those three then. You weren't meant to work with those three. No, yeah, it's not even about, like, it's not even about being meant to work with them. Because on my calls, what I'm doing is I'm making a decision whether or not I want to offer them an invitation. Like, that's all those calls are for, is whether or not I want to, you know, extend an invitation to work with me or not. Like, it's not about, like, you know, oh, have calls to get clients today. Like, it used to be like that. It used to be very much like that. And it used to be something what a lot of fucking coaches and healers do, is that I hope this person buys from me. And for me, it's not about that anymore. Like, it's about, does this person have what it fucking takes to transform or not? If they do, let's do it. If they don't, then at least they got what they needed in that moment in time. They have something to look at now to make that decision. And maybe in the future, they will find somebody who will help them transform. But like, that's being, they showed up in my space to help me set clearer boundaries, clearer standards to what I expect people to do, to show up as. Because the level of transformation that I know I bring to the table requires a person who is in full fucking integrity with their standards, with what they want from their lives, even if they don't know what they want yet. Because that's bullshit too. Everybody knows what they want. I used to say that a lot too. I don't really know what I want. Like, I want all these things. But now it's just like, okay, I know what I can't not be. That's what I'm doing. Like, that's the shift that happened. That's the change that was made, was that I was looking at all the things I wanted and all the different ways I would have to be and have to show up as to be able to obtain those things. Now I look at who I can't not be and all of the fucking amazing shit that gets to come in my life from me because of me being who I am. And everything I want just fucking shows up. Like, it just shows up whenever I stay in integrity with that. And so, yeah, we weren't supposed to work together, for sure. But like, they showed up to help me become more exacting in what I require. They were probably pooping, dude. You're right. Voicemail again. Well, that was the weird thing. That was the weird thing. The 2 in a row that went like directly to voicemail. That means your phone is off. That means your phone is off. So that was just weird, right? But again, I didn't sit and analyze it. I didn't like journal about it. I didn't make it mean anything. I was just like, oh, okay, well, people can't do that to me, you know? And it's not do that to me. Like, they didn't do anything to me. Like, you know, I'm not a victim to like them not answering the phone, right? People aren't allowed to do that in my space. Energetically, I do not attract people who are not committed to their transformation. Energetically, I do not attract these people. Okay, how can I make that more clear? Oh, add a cancellation policy. Duh. Okay. The third one really locked it in, and I was more specific, because the first time I wrote about the rescheduling and canceling policy, I didn't write it all. I told a half truth. The third time it happened was the time that it really got locked in, and then it wasn't just a physical expectation anymore. It was an energetic requirement. That's what happened, was it shifted from a physical desire to an energetic requirement. I've even had to give up my own family for my walk. Most of us do, Noah. Whenever we're like really fully all the way in it, I totally understand. I have been referred to as ruthlessly ambitious. Hello, well, welcome to the club. I don't even allow my own mother to stand in the way of my path. Me either. We must decide how much we want it, or they want it. We must decide how much we want it. 100% agree. Agree. Oh my God, catching you live, Kia. I fucking love you and I miss you, dude. Like, ugh. Oh yeah, that's what you meant, how much you want it. Thank you, Zoe. My daughter's name is Zoe. I'm like, did Zoe make her own YouTube channel? What the fuck? I literally came into the most epic line about integrity. I love it. I agree. Just make that choice. How fiercely you've evolved. So Kia and I worked together in my last year of coaching. Kia met me at a very interesting time in my life where I had become jaded already, but I was still committed to holding on to this aspect of me, this one that shows up now, the one that has always peeked its little head through, saying like, this is who you are. You gotta be this. But that was also wrapped in this pretty little box of expectation about the way I have to show up for other people instead of the way I have to show up for myself and what my life gets to be and how it gets to look and how it gets to feel without playing by all the rules that are kind of already there and the way that things have always been, just because that's the way they've always been. And so Kia and I met just like at the beginning of the end where I was just like, I was done, but I wasn't willing to be all the way done. And so for those of you that don't know, I decided to spend a year off of Facebook, which is where I built my business, and it's where I made all my money, and it's where I made all my connections, and it's where everything happened for me. And so this year I committed myself to not go on Facebook. And it was scary because I knew that that would mean that I would have to completely let go of my business and focus solely on me. And it's been about 6 months. I had no expectation for how this year was gonna look, but I joined TikTok and I started making videos like right around Christmas time last year. And like my TikTok account pretty much like blew up in the first couple of months. And I started getting a lot of followers and a lot of new friends and a lot of like, I don't know, just like a lot of the right stuff, you know, because I had let go of some shit that I didn't even want. It wasn't the way I wanted it for sure. And so I just decided I'm just gonna have fun. And that's why you see me like now making sure that fun is still in the equation. Because I just started doing what I wanted to. I started like talking about magic. I started, you know, posting paranormal videos and like doing just stuff that I really enjoy doing. And through doing things that I really enjoy doing, I realized that I was still freaking coaching. Like even in doing just the fun things that I wanted to do, people would still come to me as if I was like their coach or something, you know? And I can't help it. Like it just is this way. And so this past when I was working with Belial a lot, and then after Belial basically told me to start doing all this shit, putting this stuff that he was giving me out into the world, and I didn't because I was being stubborn, and I was like, I'm not doing this year. Like I'm not coaching. I'm not gonna do this year. And then I got knocked on my ass for like 2 fucking months. And then I started working with King Paimon, and Bilal started giving me gifts again, and King Paimon started giving me gifts again. And then Hagenti, and then like suddenly I had cleared out so much shadow that one day I was just like, I'm done smoking, right? And I lost my vape. I think that was like the moment I decided was whenever I bought a new vape after having lost mine for like 16 hours. I bought a new one and I was like, I'm done with cigarettes. Like, I'm done smoking. My eating habits have changed. Like, so much in me has changed, and it has been such a simple shift. And it was like, I realized that, like, all of this old like shadow shit had been cleared out of me, and I had so much more energy and so much more certainty. It was like, and is, not just was like, it is a completely different life. Like I am looking through new eyes. I'm feeling things differently. Like right now, I'm sweating so much because now when I speak, I get chills and I sweat. And I know it's because the more I speak, the more of my shadow is turning into like usable energy, and it's not there supporting my inability to do shit. Like it's not supporting like what everybody's doing to me, like, you know, like the money that's in my bank account, or like I'm not focusing on that shit anymore, because the 6 months that I spent away from that gave me complete clarity about like what I really wanted. So anyways, Kia, it's just fucking good to see you. I had to remember now why I was like, why I was talking about all this stuff, was that like, even though we met at a really like weird time in my life, like here you are again at a time where I'm picking this shit back up, but like epically, like epically. So yeah, that's weird, man. And you're doing epic shit too, and it's amazing. Amazing, amazing, amazing. I've given up my girlfriend and my job for my transformation. Dude, I hope I'm saying your name right. Pakdan. Hi, Cat. Was playing video games. Pakdan. It sounds like you're like, that's cool, dude. And Noah and Pakdan, like you guys talking about giving up. That's what you like. You really do. You get to a point where you would sacrifice it all. You'd give it all away. You'd give your fucking life for the things that you dare to have and be and do. No, okay. Post psilocybin therapy. No, not that. Hold on. I've been trying to grow mushrooms, gourmet mushrooms. Grow fine for me. Totally fine. I cannot for the life of me figure out how the fuck to grow psilocybin mushrooms. Can't do it because that is not my path. And so I just gave that up. I was like, whatever. I love lion's mane mushrooms. I love oyster mushrooms. I love the process of mycelium turning into fruiting bodies. Like, I'll love it. It's beautiful. I still like watching videos about it. But lion's mane and oysters, like the only thing I care about growing. But that's because I had to realize that like those, like mycelium and mushrooms are like psychedelic mushrooms are teachers, right? They're sacred teachers, and they are meant to teach some people, and they are absolutely like, even the mycelium is sentient. Like the whole fucking like idea of psychedelics is sentient without the actual physical representation of it. Like the fucking psychedelic gods know that I don't need psychedelics to get to where I'm going. Some people do, you know? And so that's why I'm convinced that they don't want to grow for me. So there's that. No psychedelic psilocybin therapy happening here. Boo. Who's talking about magic mushrooms? Yeah, we were just talking about that today. Aw. Thanks, Kia. Sorry to throw you off. You didn't throw me off. Everything needs to come out the way it's supposed to come out. You can't grow lion's mane? Oh, that sucks. Shrooms, tis only tools, y'all. For real. It's not easy, but don't give up. Yeah, well, it also takes a long time. And you know what? Those 2 months I was talking about, whenever I was like, I don't want to do this or whatever, that's actually whenever I got into like mushrooms and stuff. And I experienced it spiritually. It was like a blackout spiritually. And like I didn't have any motivation or inspiration to do anything that like I would normally have fun doing. And so I just threw myself into learning every single thing I could about mushrooms, like how to grow them, how to do everything. I've watched every fucking video that there is on every different way you can grow them. Like I know in theory exactly what to do, but yeah, the spirit of the mushroom is like, no ma'am, I don't think so. It is a beautiful process. Yeah, I had a clairtangent. What's that? What's clairtangent? If you give me a second, I'm gonna go get my lion's mane and show it to you. Okay, here we are. Oh no, the bag is wet and I just put it on here. Crap. Oh, fuck. I didn't realize it was broken. Crap. Ta-da. Aren't they so cool? Ah! This is a lion's mane. I actually bought this on Etsy. I bought the fruiting block on Etsy. And so I didn't have to do anything. But what I did was I took some of the mycelium from this and I grew liquid culture with it. And it worked really good. And there's a picture of it on my Instagram. There's like this much liquid with some mycelium in it. And it's a lion's mane culture. So I did that. And then I took that liquid culture and I took some of those like hardwood fuel pellets for your barbecue pit. And I used Home Mycology's method of pasteurizing those in the crock pot in those, like crock pot bags, like these bags right here. And they're growing in pretty nicely. So here's that one. You can see right here is the mycelium. And what I did to seal it is I just set my straightener on like 350 degrees. I rolled the bag up and I just like put my straightener on here and it's sealed perfectly fine. There it is coming through the bottom too. And lion's mane is like, it's a lot more of a fluffy mycelium. And so it can be like, it can look like mold. And so at first I was like, oh, I hope that that's it. But then I was like, of course it's it. Like, of course it's it. I also have a couple bags like this with the oyster mushrooms too. They are good for your brain. I've never even had them before, but I heard that they taste like imitation crab meat. And so I was like, oh, that sounds kind of cool. Maybe make some sushi with them or something. But I bought like this box grow kit for oyster mushrooms at the grocery store. And I took that mycelium and I put it in some grain spawn. And so I have jars of popcorn filled with mycelium from that one, the lion's mane, and then I have another one with some mycelium from that store-bought grow kit for the oyster mushrooms. And so yeah, I have 2 bags of this kind with the hardwood fuel pellets, growing of oysters. I can grow oyster mushrooms and like lion's mane mushrooms all day long, but like magic mushrooms do not want to be my teacher for some reason. And I'm really happy that they weren't, because those 2 months that I spent pouring all of my energy into learning everything about them, and whenever I kind of like went dark on, you know, social media and stuff like that, on TikTok especially, because I was making like 4 or 5 videos a day sometimes on TikTok, and then I just like stopped. And I had like no interest in it. And a lot of that had to do with like there was a lot of drama in the witch talk community, and I just don't even give a fuck about any of that. Even if you're my friend and someone did something to you, I'm like, boo, y'all have like a soul contract that you need to work out, and like I am not taking sides on your mess. Like, no, no, I'm not that kind of person. Like, I am not a person that will show up as a victim to circumstance, and I damn sure am not gonna enable my friends to be victims to circumstance no matter what. Like, you are a sovereign being. Like, what happens to you is like not for me to take sides with. So anyways, there was like all of that happening, and I saw like everyone was like splitting off and going like, here's this one crowd of people and here's another crowd. It was just weird, and everybody was talking about it, and I'm like, dude, I just want to watch funny videos. Like, I like making witch content, but I don't even like watching witch content. Like, it needs to be short and funny. Like, that's all the requirements I have for TikTok videos, just like short and funny, or short and like hard hitting and like whatever. So yeah, I just like that happened, and then the COVID stuff started happening, and so there was like all of this panic all over TikTok, and it just like it wasn't fun anymore. And I was like, fuck this, I'm gonna learn how to grow mushrooms. And so I did, you know, and I know that if the psilocybin ones would have worked for me, that I probably would still be doing all of that. But once I realized that, like, dude, I'm like, what am I doing with my time? Like, this is a nice therapeutic escape, but like, okay, cool. I learned how to do it. Now I have a new skill set. Like, great. Now let's get back to like what you're fucking here for. And that's kind of how all of that went down. Here, let me look at, yeah, the drama. Yeah. Yeah, everybody is over it, except for they couldn't stop talking about it. Huge shout out to Home Mycology, 100%. I haven't seen him on a live stream here in forever. I think I haven't seen him since my birthday live stream, which was like over a month ago. So we were supposed to do a video together, but we haven't done it yet, so I don't know. Okay, spent countless days learning how to grow them, right from like the time you woke up to the time you went to bed, like just learning and like experimenting. That's how I was too. I just threw myself into it. All right, you guys. I think that's all I wanted to talk about. There was something else I wanted to talk about for sure. When you touch something and have a vision. Oh, that's what that was. Clairtangent. I've never heard of that before. That's badass, dude. It sounds straight out of a movie. It reminds me of those like people, the psychics who like help police officers or like detectives solve like missing person cases and stuff, where they like have one of the objects from like the missing person, and then they can tap into like the last thing that the missing person saw. You know what I'm talking about? Like those psychic detectives. That's what that reminds me of. As a shroomster, do you have to resist saying there's a fungus among us? Literally have never said that before until just now. Thanks. There's a fungus among us. Holy shit. No, I do not have to resist the urge. It's never been there. Remote viewers. Yeah, but remote viewers don't touch something. They just remote view. Like, I'm talking about like on movies, or like those Lifetime movies where, you know, they're like holding a scarf or like a necklace, and they're like, oh no, like that kind of thing. Touched a tree and saw a little girl in a sundress playing, but yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, that's badass. Cool, Reagan. You will now. You better not, you better stop. I'm not gonna say that ever again. Okay. Actually, I'm gonna delete your comment. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. Whew. I'm getting so hot. Oh yeah. Oh, there was something else I wanted to talk about. It had to do with like the scheduling stuff. No, I think that really covers it. And if you're watching this and you were one of those people who didn't answer your phone today, thank you. Like, thank you. And if you don't like what I said, like, I also don't care. Like, I love you guys. Like, I love all of you as people, but like, nobody's opinion of me or what I say matters more than my own to me. Like, it just doesn't. And so, like, I just want people to know that it can be like that for anybody. Like, you can love and honor people for sure and not feel bad if you like hurt their feelings or whatever, because like you don't actually have power over their feelings, period. Like, you don't, unless they're giving it to you. In that case, like, stop giving your fucking power away, you know? Like, nobody should be able to have power over your feelings. So I just want, yeah, I just want to clearly, like, thank you. Thank you. That's all. Also, how many times have you said Cantabra? I think I've, definitely whenever I write the word Cantam, I think of home mycology, for sure. Myco, all the way. Yeah, I'm happy he painted his nails again. Yeah, I need to go on there, on the website, and go on there. It's just like, having to go onto Safari and it not remembering your password and shit, like, that always makes me so irritated. So I'll go on there. I wonder if they sent me a message in my mail. I think Curtis has my phone number. I don't think I have, I don't know. I don't think I've gotten a text from him. So anyways, yeah, I love Curtis. Like, he's really helped me to understand a lot about myself and why I've always known the things that I know, and I've always sort of like known that they were true, but like whenever I found some of Curtis's stuff, I was like, dude, yeah, 100%. Like, I am so fucking happy that I'm not crazy. Great, 100%. Yeah, so I love him. Like, I will always have so much gratitude for him. He helped me understand so much about like my dark, like why I'm so fucking like into the dark, and not just like, I don't know, the dark for the sake of being dark kind of dark, but just like the truth, like the void, like the fucking nothing and everything, right? So anyways, good dude, sort of tall. Really? Oh, Myco? Oh wait, who's sort of tall? All right, y'all. Here's my link again in case anybody wants to follow me on social media places, or come to the fucking shadow work event that we're gonna do Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week on Zoom at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Yeah, you can sign up on there. He's 6'3". He looks short. What? All right. I love you, Kia, so much. Damn, I didn't know that. Cool. Right? Somebody's lying. No. All right, y'all. I guess that's it. Wow. All right, that's it. I don't know if I'm gonna be pre-recording videos for a while, but I'm definitely happy that I came on live tonight. All right. Bye-bye, everyone. Nice stream. Correct. Thank you so much for being here. Oh. No lying. I think you're telling the truth. All right. I'll see y'all later. I don't want to go. Like, I don't want to click hang up. I feel like I'm on the phone with my crush as a 14-year-old. I was like, no, you hang up first. No, you hang up first. Everybody, leave a like on this video, subscribe if you're not subscribed, and then click off the video so that I can fucking leave my live stream. Thanks. Okay, just kidding. Bye.